Okay, muscle test this with me. My trauma loves your trauma. This is where we're most of the time manifesting or choosing, consciously creating from. We're consciously creating from the state of trauma or woundedness instead of creating, choosing, being conscious of where we'd love to experience life from. We're in the wounded state. You can muscle test this. I talk about muscle testing in my book, Cup Full of Money, and it's a free book you can grab. Even if you don't want any more money, you can grab this book and learn about muscle testing, learn how you can implement muscle testing into your life, into your conscious creation routine, so that you have a lot of maybe new to you tools or strategies or processes that are really fun to implement and use in your day-to-day life, so that you get into the habit of creating and choosing your experiences from the desired state and vibration and emotional atmosphere rather than the trauma or wounded state. We can muscle test this. A couple of ways that I love to muscle test is the collar test. You put your dominant hand on your collar or clavicle. You raise your hand or your finger, and you press down on your finger. You try to keep that finger as high up as you can. You say yes and push, and then you say no, and your finger should totally weaken. Now, you can use my preferred technique, which is the KDB, Kinetic Divination Board. This is just imagining a whiteboard out in front of you. You have 0% on the left and 100% on the right, and you're going to muscle test. Thinking of something, an experience that you want to have to be, create, receive. You can think of a relationship that you'd love to be in, have, or create. Success, clients, more dream clients that you love to work with, more money. Whatever it is for you, think of something that you want to create, have, to be, receive, experience. Now that you are thinking and being aware of that thing, ask your body, and I'd love for you to try the whiteboard. Imagine that there's a whiteboard out in front of you with a percentage chart on it. And you're going to ask your body, I'm creating that thing from my wounded or trauma state. What percentage do you get? Don't be hard on yourself if you get a high percentage. And then ask your body, what percentage of that thing am I creating from the desired preferred state? Thinking of that dream car, that relationship that you'd love to be in, the success in your business, the clients, the money, the whatever, the trip, whatever it is that you're wanting to create, have, to be, receive. Think of a state that you would be in, right? Neville Goddard said, feeling is a secret. What state? What feeling would you be in if you had that thing? And I want you to bring it down a notch, right? One of my clients wanted to manifest her dream truck. And I said, walk me through. And she was getting frustrated because she was doing the steps and doing the tools and doing all the things, and it just wasn't happening for her. And I said, okay, let's walk me back through the steps and processes that you're implementing. And she said, oh, every day I'm getting so excited. I'm looking in the driveway and I'm thinking with the keys in my hand, and I'm just so excited. I'm almost jumping up and down for joy. And I said, okay, once you manifest the truck, and that's your truck, and it's in your driveway, and it's been in your driveway for a week, would you still be dancing a jig every time you go out to the truck? She said, no. I'm like, right, because it's your truck. It feels natural. It feels normal. So we need that level of normalcy when we're creating. But it also has to be from of course, right? Not from the trauma, I'm going to be wounded state. It's the, of course I have this, or be this, or do this, or experience this. Of course this is fun for me. Of course this is enjoyable. How much enjoyment are you tapping into? The normalcy of the enjoyment and the fulfillment versus the wounded or trauma state. We don't need to be hyper excited. The wealthiest people in the world, whether you want wealth in my mind is a wide variety of things. It's not just money. If you have a wealthy experience and life, You're wealthy, as in you have the best friends, you have the best experiences, you have time freedom, you have health, you have joy. The wealthiest people in the world aren't dancing to their car every morning. They're just looking out at the driveway and expecting that car is there, or the dream truck is there. There's a level of normalcy and expectancy. So hopefully this helps you to shift from that trauma to the expected, joyful state of vibration that is, I get to have this. I get to receive this. This is normal for me. You get to create like you mean it. I'm Jillian Holly. Don't forget to comment with what your percentage was. Don't be ashamed of sharing that, because we're all here on this journey together. And as you become aware of those percentages on your whiteboard, KDB, Kinetic Divination Board, once you get aware of those percentages, you can start to shift. You can start to use the tools in my books. One of them is Cupful of Money. I hope that it is useful and helpful for you to create like you mean it. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.